Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Matty Chymbor podcast. There's something on my leg, and I don't know if it's gunk or a skin tag. What? Am I that 34? Any other 34-year-olds have skin tags? Guys, welcome back. I have took some time off from doing this, but, it's rightfully so, people. If you've learned anything watching me over the years is I do stuff on my time. You have your clock. We have the world clock. We have all those clocks on our phones that are fun to look at, even though we don't give a care what they mean. What time is it in Austria? I don't know. I can look. But know what they got to do? They got to have a clock on there. It says my time. Because sometimes you got to deviate from the real world, and that's what I had to do. I got a new job. We talked about this, and I just had to wrap my head around it. And you know what? I hate when things fall victim to other things. But the old potty pod fell victim to the old jobby job. I just wanted to wrap my head around it before I just started becoming more overwhelmed and stressed than I already was/am. But there's good news. There's a happy ending to this story, and guess what? It's right here, right now. We're recording. And I'm going to just try to be good about these. I mean, it's the same thing every week, people. You know what? You got to be selfish. And guess what? I had to be selfish. I've been putting out the videos. I've been, doing more stand-up. I'm still giving. But, if my podcast was a fish, it would probably almost be floating on the surface of that tank. This episode is me just sprinkling in a little more food to keep it going. Let's do a little podcast recap over the years. I started this podcast, and I honestly think 2014, and I'm on episode, what am I on? It's 71. You're like, wow, that's wild. No, it's not. That's terrible. That is the worst. That means I do a podcast once every 7 years. And you know what? It's fine. We're still going to get a lot out of this. We're going to talk about that's what I do. I just try to give so much in the cut first. I pack so much information into each episode where you're like, you know what? I don't need it every week. He just overloaded me on homework, to do things, information, humor, erotica, whatever I'm throwing at you. It's so much that you're like, all right, maybe he can take a month off, because you got to think, when I stop hitting the record button, when I hit it again, when I stop recording, man, come on, I just literally collapse. I look like that singer, what's his name? James Dean. What are those, the breakfast sandwiches? James Brown, after he would sing, he'd fall on the ground and he would just be like, just incapacitated. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He'd just be knocked out, and they'd have to drag him off stage. That's what happens to me when I finish recording these. I just collapse. I'm wearing a safety harness, and then a bell is triggered when I fall, and it pulls the clip off of it. And then my neighbors run in, and they go, "Did you do another podcast?" I'm like, "The people wanted it. They wanted it. They go, Matt, you're going to kill yourself." And I'm like, "The people wanted it." And then I fart, and they go, "You're gross." And I go, "Nah, I'm fine. Sorry." You got to stop doing this whole fake passing out thing. You're scaring us in the building. It's crazy COVID's basically done, though. I was just thinking how, we just been, I don't want to say I met more people in my building through it, but you just see them more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I would never, I'm not like, I don't become friends with neighbors. I'm not that guy. This isn't Seinfeld. I do one of these. A little awkward fucking, awkward eye contact, and then I move on. I don't need to be friends with people, so don't worry. No one's going to barge in here. I'm cordial. This is one thing you'll know about me. I'm cordial and have a lot of acquaintances, which is a positive way of saying I have no friends and I'm alone often. I'm cordial and have acquaintances and mind my business. I'm scared, I have no friends, and I never leave my house. That's me. I'm not one of those people. I don't need to. It's funny. I do my videos. I put it in the public's eye. But if you meet me in real life, I'm not like somebody who's like chasing people down because I feed off their energy. I would sit under my couch if it could fit me. I don't need to be around people. I do because it's funny. This is where I'm going to contradict myself. 9 times out of 10, I do that because if you guys are new to this, I sometimes drool and there's bubbles that go on the corner of my mouth, and it's disgusting. And I'm an adult man and I should know when there's spit around my mouth. But when God made our bodies, he goes, let's take some of those nerves and put them down in the old dongs and crotches, because I want people to not know they're drooling. I want you to not know that, and then you record a whole hour episode and it looks like you have a little child blowing bubbles on the corner of your mouth because you gross. Because you gross. I like being alone. I don't know. I just like fucking being... I'll literally sit here all day with no TV on, and I'll just kind of think about shit. And if you saw what was going on in my brain, just psycho moves, lights. I got colors. There's people naked. My brain is not a Netflix show. It's more than a Netflix show, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, what I was going to get to is how, it's funny. I don't know. I like being alone, but I need people to invite me to things so I don't feel like being alone is involuntary. That's the difference. Being alone is fun when you have plans that you could do. When you don't have plans and being alone is the only option, that's when it sucks. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Matt, what are you trying to brag like people invite you out? I do a little bit. I have this weird, I like teeter on the line of like, I have no friends. God, I don't want to go out. Why can't I just stay home? How come nobody likes me? Okay, these people need to calm the fuck down and stop asking me to do shit. It's weird. I'm in this like little gray area in the middle where I'm just like pinging between two walls, like, ew, invite me, but ugh, don't. It's weird. We want what we can't have. I think that's it. Isn't that wild? If I told everybody you can't watch this podcast, you guys would probably be like, yeah, that's fine. But deep down, you'd be like, but why can't I watch it? Why can't I watch this podcast? I want to watch this guy, this grown man who owns too many candles. I want to know what the fuck he's doing. You can't, if you want it, and somebody's like doing this, you're like, give me. But if somebody goes, huh? You're like, the fuck out of my face. That's for everything in life. And when you can start to crack the codes, you start winning at life, baby. When you start cracking codes and getting Dogecoin and crypto and understanding social dynamics, that's why I just hit up group chats and I go, I don't even want to come tonight. And they're like, no one said anything. And I go, if you make plans, I don't want to do it. And then people are like, but Matt, please come, please. And I'm like, nope. And then that justifies me sitting on my couch watching alien shows on Netflix. It makes it feel so much better. Just knowing I'm on my couch alone and there's probably people out at the bar like, where's Matt? No one ever does this, by the way. People, don't get too caught up in my little fantasy world that I'm trailing off in. It's nice to think that. Know what the shittiest feeling is when people go, come on out. You're like, no. Come on, what are you doing? Nah, it's fine. And then they stop asking. You're like, you could ask one more time. Maybe I would have changed on the last one. When people stop asking too soon, that kind of hurts. Hey, Matt, you want to come outside? Nah, I'm good. Okay. Well, you're not going to even ask again? Oh, you just ask once? I feel like you didn't even want me to come. You did it to be polite, and now that you're happy you got it out of the way. It's like sometimes when you got to call like somebody, whoever that may be, call whoever, and you're like, oh, fuck this. And then the second it rings like 8 times, you're like, I tried. I did it. What am I going to just sit here on the phone all day? That's what it's like when somebody only asks you once. Because you know when people really want you to come out. Was that disgusting? Yeah, it probably was. But also, I'm alone right now, and I can do what I want. I'm alone right now, and there's a chance of me not even airing this. So that literally made me get paranoid that I didn't hit record. Fuck. Sorry, guys. You guys want to watch me stand and do a podcast? Hey. I don't know. It's weird how, you know what I've been noticing? It's like how, I don't know if you guys feel this, where my body goes through these changes where some days I feel like a woman. No, I'm just kidding. I've been trying to with working out, eating, anything where it requires you to be obedient with yourself. Have you guys ever had this where it's like I have a month or 2 or 3 where I'm like, I'm good. I'm zoned in. And then you have to have then you just burn yourself out with that obedience. Like right now I'm in the lull where I'm trying to just be a fraction of what I was 6 months ago, and I just fucking can't for the life of me. As far as I've been working out, eating healthy, and I was so good, and I was getting into habits. I swear to God, because we're being allowed in public again. I feel like just the temptations are just absolutely fucking me. And, I'm right now my diet is just absolutely, it's not trash, but I was like, who was that guy 6 months ago that was just smashing this? How was that so fresh, new, and exciting? And then you, the thought of the thought of working out or even eating healthy, at that extreme makes me want to just drive my car into a crowd of people. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I would only drive my car towards a crowd of people, and then I would throw fucking ice cream pops at them, and then videotape it and put on Instagram and be like, I'm a good guy. Look at me. I'm a good person. I got into it with somebody, speaking of that, I trail off. Let's be honest. That thing about me, I don't know. Did you ever get burnt out? I do. I'm burnt out right now. That's why I'm just kind of I'm just fucking trying not to eat like shit. But anyways, speaking of, I got into it with somebody on my TikTok. Not somebody, people, because I made a video where I basically said, if you film yourself helping homeless people, you're a piece of shit. Which it's like, yeah, you are. I mean, what is wrong with these people where you're not doing it for the good of that person. You're doing it for the entertainment and to gain the personal. You're trying to gain off of that person. You're not giving. You're almost taking more away from them. Yeah, you're giving them stuff, but you're just hey, you're doing a selfie as you help a fucking bum, you piece of shit. Anyways, and then I did that video. You ever do a video or put something out there publicly where you're there's no way in hell somebody's going to disagree with me on this. And the amount of people who still disagreed was just numbing, to the point where you're this is just who human. Oh, when my mouth fucks up words, dude, I get so mad, boy. You just sound dumb. This is who humans are. Anyways, that's just who people are. You'll never not. It's in our bones to just question everything. Some people question it at a micro level and then realize it makes sense and then, just go with that opinion. And then some people just they don't let it go. You're just they're well, they're still fucking getting help, or what's the matter? And I'm that just goes to show your need for entertainment is superseding the humility that it's putting on that fucking poor person. That guy's like, I'm literally sleeping on the sidewalk, and I'm like asking for a sandwich, and you're like putting your camera in my face. I fucking would love to just sue all them and just give the homeless people any residual I can, and then I'd see how many fucking videos there are of that. Anyways, that's what I would do. Jokingly, remember earlier I said I would feed people ice cream cones, and then I would film it, and then I'd become famous, and I would it's just funny about all these, like, there's so many activists these days with everything, and it's like you can't help but think that some of them are faking care for that cause just to be like, look like a leader amongst that group in a way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some people, they're like, on the internet, you're like, are you really sticking up for this, or did you just see that nobody was like jumping on that cause yet, and you're trying to just be like the fucking, yeah, let's go, and you're like, where are you going to be in 5 years? Are you still going to be this gung-ho about it? I mean, I'm just curious, because some people, they do it for like the social praise, social media praise, but then like a year later you're like, where'd that person go? Because you were pretty fucking annoying, and now you seem like you moved on pretty quick when it wasn't trending on Twitter. Boy, you really care about gun control then when hashtag gun control was huge, and you were just plowing out tweets, and you're seeing your fucking notification bell go off, and then the second that's not trending, you're just like, here's food. Here's pics of food. I'm retweeting something different. I don't know. What was I just getting at? I don't know. Protests. Activists. I don't know. I care about shit. That's one thing I noticed. I'm like, that fucking... You ever see people like... It's almost impressive on social media these days how many people... Like, you ever meet somebody, they're so caught up with current events, you're like, how do you know all this shit? I feel like I'm so busy during the day that when somebody, like for comedy, for example, there's, like, a huge podcaster like Tim Dillon and, like, even, like, Joe Rogan. There's, like, so many of these people where, like, they're just so caught up with, like, real time, like, what's happening. And I'm like, do you just sit on Twitter all day, or do you just listen to the news and read all day? Like, maybe like when I do stand up full time and I just have nothing else to do, I would be the same. But some people, I'm just like, how are you guys so in tune with everything? Like, don't you have shit to do? I'm so busy. Like, literally, I'm fucking busy cleaning this whole goddamn place, and by the time I'm done cleaning, I gotta start over again because dust doesn't stop. And I'm like, what are you, sitting in filth and just reading your phone to know about? I mean, I don't know. Is that a good thing? I think it is. I mean, it sounds like, of course, straight white male. You don't care about anything. It's not that I don't care. I don't fucking time. I have a job. I have to pay my fucking bills. You don't give a fuck. One girl one time, she got mad because something about volunteering. I don't know. She was like, you don't care because you're a white guy and it doesn't affect you. And I'm like, it's a pretty bold statement coming from a white girl, you dumb fuck. It's not that I don't care. I have time. I wanted it, but I do want to know. I want to know more. I try to read the little news article columns on my phone. You ever try to, you read 5 of those? You're like, I'm caught up. I know what's going on in this world. And they're all just wrong clickbait articles. You're like, this is it. There's another strand of COVID. You're like, all right. I mean, do I want to get... I look at it like this. There's like my cousin Robbie. He's in the military. Or he was in the military. Anyways, this isn't even a military thing, but it was his buddy. Anyways, they told me I have a circle of things, and inside that circle, not a ring light, you influencers, a circle. Ring light? No, it's a circle. But that's a ring light. Well, yeah, but it's not what you think. It's not that I don't care, but it's like I try to make a decision. That was a good neck crack. I hope that picked up. I should break my neck in 5-hour podcast, and somehow it just uploads, and then you're like, influencer cracks his neck on podcasts. Anyways, I care about that shit, but I'm also like, I got stuff to do. I mean, like, and also what I was trying to get at is I have my little circle, and this is a problem with a lot of people I see. It's not me assuming, it's just, it is my assumption that I keep in my brain. I don't tell people this because, although I'm projecting it to the world via the internet now, but what I see often is so many fucking people worry about goddamn, you should only worry about what's in your circle because those are the things you can control. Anything in your little circle, however big you want it, that shit you can control, and if it's stressing you out, at least you have the power to control it and get it out of your stress and take care of crap. For example, when I'm working and my emails are just pouring in, it's stressful, but then I go, okay, how can I make myself not stress about this? And I know it sounds shitty to say, but I'm like, I'm literally just going to work until I'm just done with these emails, whether that means me working late at night, but also that oddly releases some sort of dopamine because I'm happy that I set a plan and I'm like, okay, it's not stressing me now because I will just sit here until I get it done. That's good. So many fucking people like reading all these articles and things. There's so much shit that's out of their power, and it's like, you're like, what are you fucking? I get you're acknowledging it, but calm down. Like, what are you doing to yourself? Like, they just care so much about, like, they're just getting so mad. Like, Nike makes kids build their shoes, and you're just like, yeah, I mean, that sucks. And then and then that person doesn't even do anything about it. So like, you're literally just getting amped up for no reason. I mean, it's shitty. And I mean, unless you want to do something about it, I recommend you just fucking chill out. I mean, like, you have to acknowledge that. I know I'm kind of going down this dark alley of like, Matt, do you not give a fuck about them? I do. That sucks. But I mean, there's some point you're like, you can act on anything. There's a million things that are wrong out there, and you're like, what do I like now? I have to like donate to a cause. Like, what is this Seaspiracy where he just starts sending all his money to fucking these causes, which are probably all fucking fake. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I mean, don't wear Nike. I don't wear fucking Nike. I don't wear much. I don't even know. I think I have one pair. I have one pair of Nike shoes. The rest, I want Nike to come out with a commercial where they go, adults made these. Are those the new Jordans? Yeah, they're new Jordans made by adults, and they're just so boring. What if something about the kids? They can do designs. The kids making Nikes, they're just so much better at doing specific stitch work and designs that if like adults did it would just suck. That would be like a movie, and you'd just see everybody still like being like, that's so much better than adults are using these fucking things. And then like deep down, they're all still buying the fucking fucked up kid shoe ones. I don't know. That was a weird thought, but you know what? We went down that road. We looked around. We said a couple of things, and you go, you know what? This is a dead end. Let's back out. You're white and straight. You know, you're already in a male sometimes. And I was kidding. You already get you only got so many avenues you can go down, and guess what? That was one that but I tried. I did that, and you know what? It was in my circle, and I went down that street, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable discussing this anymore, especially considering I'm going to put this out on the internet. And I slowly backed out of that road, and I'm about to just start talking about grocery shopping because I like to talk about boring shit. You know what? But it's like, I mean, as a white person now, you're like, I mean, I don't even like to do that. That's just like, I don't know. It's scary. It's not even, it has nothing to do with race or anything. It's just the fact that I know, going back to my thing on TikTok or any video where somebody can find something wrong with anything you do. So that's the problem where I can be talking about something fine and somebody's going to see an issue with it. It's just the amount of people who would see an issue with it is less. But when you start going down these roads where it's these topics, obviously, you know, the kid Nike shit, you got to go down that road and you're like, people are going to get mad. But, I mean, I'd like to think that the people who watch this and know me know that I'm fucking not serious. But when you make those decisions, what, I have a B on my tongue? When you make those decisions, you're going to piss off more people. And guess what, people? I don't give a fuck. because I'm still going to do this every 5 months. And by time 2 episodes roll out, you'll have literally aged 4 years, and there'll be a new form of the internet. I'm going to do this until the internet literally changes, so I can be like, I used to do it, and I would have to upload it on the old internet. The old internet just lives somewhere in the woods. You see like USBs. You're like, dude, this will be a movie in fucking like 30 years. Old internet. Do you want to see what your dad and mom used to look at on the old internet? It's just like these cities now are all overgrown, and then there's just USBs popping out of trees, and they're like, don't go in there and plug your computer into it. You'll get a virus. That's what's crazy. We're going to be all bionic, and we're going to have like bionic limbs, and then hackers are going to hack our arms. And that's a funny idea. I really want to write that down. We're going to be cyborgs, and all these like fucking offshore hackers are going to hack your limbs. You should be sitting there on a date like, so what do you do for work? Just hit you in the fucking face. Oh, I'm getting hacked. That'll be a part of the premise. Your legs are getting hacked, and they're making you walk into the bank and take out all your money. I'm getting hacked. I can't blink. And they go in the woods in the old internet. Like, they're just like power cords and things, and you're like, you plug in, you see fucking Pornhub. That's a little intro song to their thing. Ooh, they used to look at this shit. That's gross. Even the internet. Think about like the internet, like when AOL was a thing. Like, look how different that was. I wonder if there's like a way. I'm not gonna do this right now. I wonder if there's a way. And a missed call. My computer's all fucked up. They should have a simulator that's like the old internet, like from like, you know, I mean, it's always hard where you draw the line, but I think now it'd be safe to say they should just like right now just do like a snapshot of the internet now. So then down the road we can do it'd be like amusing. Like hypothetically now you go to this website and you can like fuck around on the internet like it was like 1998. I mean, yeah, if you can like load screens faster and shit. And I know it'd probably be boring because it's just websites, but I don't know, it'd be interesting to see, like, oh my God, you ever like see when the people drive down like famous streets and just record and they upload it 10 years later and you're like, holy shit, that's way different. They need to do that with the internet. I'm just going to record my screen perusing websites and looking at YouTubes and porn and money. I mean, I don't know, whatever the fuck people do on the internet. I got 2 things on the internet. Boobs and Amazon. And sometimes they find their way into one another because I get the dolls. Oh, I'm just kidding. That'd be fun. I saw a video. That's why it made me think, because I saw a video. Somebody filmed themselves driving down Sunset Boulevard in like the 70s. And at the time, someone was like, what are you doing that for? And then you're like, oh, shit. That's valuable now. And that's what's scary. That's what scares me is like dead serious. No one takes pictures anymore because Instagram is never, it's rare. It's like the person, but it's not. I mean, like, I went home recently and my mom had just like shoe boxes of photos, and I'm just like, that's like what people did, but it's like at no point was I mad or bored. Why'd you be mad? I mean, like, at no point was I not thrilled to see any one of those pictures. It was crazy, and I'm like, we delete too much shit now. We fucking like nothing lasts a day unless your engagement. Like, what if my mom like took all these like cool photos back in the day, and then she's like, yeah, the engagement wasn't good on the photo, so I burnt them all. You're like, why would you do that? And that's like what scares me. It's like I literally don't have pictures of myself. Like, I do when I do like shows and comedy, but that's crazy. Like, there are no photos that live anywhere unless, I guess, like some. My funerals, even when I'm like fucking 90s, and be like, goddamn pictures of me in college. They're like, the guy took no pictures. I mean, I don't know. We're not going to put his meme videos up at his funeral. He's like fucking 90. He was like 34 then. What the fuck? just crazy rifling through photos that people cared about. The importance of things like that have just gone downhill. Like back in the day, we're taking a picture. Everyone's just like, oh, shit. Okay. And they care. Now people don't give a... Someone's like, you're taking a picture. You're like, then fucking take it. I like the candid look anyways. No one even looks at the camera anymore. I had a friend, I swear to God, I just want to blast him in the face when I'd see him do this. He wanted that candid look so bad. It's like, it almost like takes the importance off you trying to look good, because they're like, oh, well, he's looking away. He's not smiling. He's so cool. We caught him talking. He's so busy. He couldn't even focus for the camera. Like when you smile, you're like, oh, that's what he looks like when he's trying, versus, when you're just doing some kind of like turning as the picture's taken. But it's also like, fuck you, look at the camera. Like everyone else is everyone else mature enough to look at the camera. Why are you doing this shit? And I remember I caught on because I'm a fucking snipe shooter. What am I? I don't know. But just, okay, you're not a detective because you caught on to this. Anyways, I started to notice this because I was like, why come every picture, like him and like other people, I was like, why is he always looking like he's doing something? I go, how is somebody taking pictures so poorly? What is happening? And I literally noticed, I took a group picture once for them because I don't get in them because they don't ask me. I was kidding. I remember taking a group picture, and I was like, oh, 1, 2, 3. I was like, 1, 2. And he was smiling on 1 and 2, and then right when I said 2, though, he did like this. He like turned, and I was like, and I didn't take the picture because I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, just take it. I was like, no, you don't. I go, this isn't candid. I go, everyone's smiling. I'm not taking it unless you smile. And then he didn't know when I was taking it, and I took it on 1, and he tried doing it on 3, and I go, I got you. Your smile's gross. You don't make your friends look bad like they're losers looking at the camera, and you got people yelling your name. You're not that guy. You smile like everybody else so we can see your jacked up teeth, or if your face makes a weird look when you smile. You ever have somebody like they look one way and then when they laugh and or smile, you're like, how does your face change? How does your face change that much? Like, isn't it like I have friends where, I mean, they kind of chuckle, laugh, whatever. But then, like, when they really laugh, you're like, oh, you literally look different, like, when you're laughing and smiling really hard. Which it's, like, good. I mean, I'm happy to see that side of you, but it's also jarring and absolutely disgusting. So I need you to just fucking fix your face, because when you laugh, you look like, you look so different. I feel like they give you 2 Social Security numbers, because here's when you're not laughing, and then here's a very different one when you are laughing, because you're 2 different people when you laugh. Normal, and then they're just like, you're like, Jesus, fuck, what are you doing with your face? Are your muscles just that, like, excited to be flexed that it just rips your face in different positions, and you're just like, I mean, I like laugh. Obviously, I'm in the business of humor, so I'm not mad they're doing this, but it's a thing I picked up on, guys. See how, let's take a step back, people. Let's do this. Let's look at how, spit check. I went down the Nike Kid road, got a little bumpy. Can you feel how the facial reaction one was a little less rocky? You know, some people are probably writing a letter like, just barreling, like, you don't make fun of my face. Don't make fun of me. I get it. We're not supposed to make fun of people. But sometimes it's really fun. And if you're vulnerable, I recommend you walk away before my verbal attacks just light you the fuck up. And honestly, if you're like, don't make fun of people, you're like, you're literally asking me to make fun of you now. That's what I'm going to do. And if I'm making fun of you, it's because I like you. We've talked about this. If I make fun of you, it's because I like you. If I don't like you, I say nice things. That's just how it is. So if I'm calling you a dumb piece of shit to your face, that means I fucking love you. So deal with that. Everyone's so sensitive. You ever get caught off guard from somebody who you didn't think was sensitive and then they were? You're like, you? How are you this? What happened? God, I thought you're on my side. You're like a double agent. I told you things. They go, they were fucked up. You don't talk to people like that. Dude, just crying. Dude, in like fucking 25 years, I feel like there's going to be a trend of like men crying. In like 30 years, look at like these kids on TikTok now, and you're just like, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck's happening. They're all dancing, and they wear fucking makeup, and they act bizarre. But anyways, I feel like, dude, in 30 years, when I'm 90, my grandkids, him and his friends are going to come in, and they're just doing this like new challenge on some VR app. And they're just crying. Grandpa, it's the cry challenge. Try it. And I'm just like crying because I hate everybody. And like, he's good at it. How are you so good at it? Because I'm like, I hate everybody. You goddamn pussies. Oh, God, I just want to be a grandpa and just say fucked up shit. And people just have to still invite me to things. I cannot wait. Just to be like, you fucking dumb bitch. Look at you. Why don't you get off your ass? They're just all crying at dinner, and I'm just like laughing with food coming out of my mouth. Now one of you bring me home and walk me up those steps so I don't die. Walk me. I'll be a good grandpa. All right, guys. That's it. I want to go back to work because I got a lot of emails, and I spent 37 minutes of my lunch break talking to you. So if you guys like this episode, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you didn't like it, it's probably because you're stupid and you don't understand things. Oh, you're gross. Guys, thanks for watching. Bye.